Hello, this is the lesson from page 177 about writing two-step equations. So the objective is you'll be able to write two-step equations that represent real-world situations. And the essential question is, how do I interpret a word problem and turn it into an algebraic equation? And so today you're going to be given the words, and you want to turn it into the algebraic equation. All right, the very first one says you want to go to a camp that costs $700. Your parents will pay $400 if you pay the rest at $15 a week. So over here you see just a little chart. So the very first week, they had paid $400 and you hadn't paid anything. Then after 1 week, you've paid $15. So together you have $415 paid off toward camp. The next week would be 2 payments of $15 accumulated. So that would be 30 plus 400 and 430. The third week, you will have paid $15 a week, so $45 plus the 400. So then the first question is, what would the payment be after week 4? And you would just continue that pattern and say, after week 4 of paying $15 a week, that's $60, you would have paid $460 toward camp. So then the question, how many payments would it take to pay for camp? The equation looks like this, where you don't know how many weeks, so you put the variable in there. And then now we're just solving a two-step equation. We subtract 400 from each side. Then you have to subtract 400 from this side. So you get 15x equals 300. You want to get the variable alone to find out how many weeks you have left, because you have to pay 300 and your parents paid the 400. So divide, oops, that's not what we wanted. Divide by 15. Divide by 15. And so you will have camp paid off in 20 weeks, which actually to me sounds like a long time because that's about almost 5 months. All right, next one. Here's another example of one you would have in homework. It says the sum, which tells you it's an addition problem. The sum of $400, or 400, and 15 times a number is 700. And that's the problem we just did on the previous slide. 400 plus 15 times the number equals 700. Here we go. 8 less than, so that means you're subtracting 8 from whatever comes next. 3 times the number is negative 23. So you would have 3 times a number, or 3x first, and then 8 less than that, so say minus 8, equals negative 23. Now they may just have you stop right there, but then there are some examples that do want you to finish the problem, and I'll do that real quickly. So plus 8 on that side, plus 8 on this side. Remember, we're trying to cancel it out on this side of the equal sign. We have to do the same thing on both sides. So now we have 3x equals negative 15, because opposite signs you subtract, keep the sign with a large absolute value, divide by 3 on both sides, and so x is negative 5. But like I said, they may not have you solve it every time. If they want you just to write the expression, please don't do any extra work. Just stop where it says write the expression. All right, 13 is, right away, that's a clue. Is means equal sign. So I would just say 13 equals 7 more than twice a number. So I would say 13 equals 2n plus 7. Whoops. So you have twice the number and 7 more than that. That's how you know to put it second, equals 13. And then again, to solve, we'd subtract 7 on both sides. This would cross out. Here we go. So 6 equals 2n. Divide by 2. Oops. Divide by 2. N equals 3. All right, this one can be a little difficult. Quotient, we know, means divide, or the answer when you divide. So the answer when you divide a number and 4. To me, that part's a little confusing, but just get in the habit of, if they say a quotient of a number, they're telling you the variable needs to be in the numerator divided by 4. So let me show you that part. Decreased by 1 means you're going to subtract 1 equals 5. I would make sure this one's in your notes so you see what they're asking. All right, 15 equals, here they didn't say is, they just said equals. That's a good giveaway. 15 equals 3 more than, so you know you're adding 3 to whatever comes next, 6 times a number. So let's go part by part. 15 equals 6 times the number plus 3. And like I said, some examples today in your homework will just say leave as an expression. You don't have to solve it if they don't ask you to. All right, 10 increased by the quotient of a number and 6. So that tells me you can put the 10 first, because 10 is increased by whatever comes next. So you would say 10 plus quotient of the number goes in the numerator, and 6 goes in the denominator. Is your equal sign 5. So one more time. Oops. Oh, I don't know why it does that. There we go. Okay. 10 increased by a quotient of a number and 6 equals 5. The difference between 12 and twice the number is 18. Difference means subtracting. So 12 subtract, or minus, 12 subtract twice the number, 2n, is your equal sign 18. So one more time. The difference between 12 and twice the number is 18. All right, now you'll have some real world examples, and so let's try this one together. You buy a weight bench for $500, and you don't know, we're trying to find out how many weights were purchased if each weight was $25 each. The total was $850. How many weights were purchased? So right away I have bench plus $25 per weight equals $850. So per weight means that's your variable. So there we go. Now, two-step equation. And this one in the book, they do want you to solve it. So you want to move 500 to the other side. So your numbers are on the other side. Minus 500, minus 500. So now you have 25W equals 350. We want to get W alone, so divide both sides by 25. And it looks like you bought 14 weights. Because if each weight was $25 plus the 500 for the weight bench. This one can be a little wordy, but we can go step by step. You and your friend's lunch together cost $19. Your lunch was $3 more than your friend's lunch. How much was your friend's lunch? So think of it as your friend's lunch plus your lunch together was $19. We're going to put F for the friend, and then we know that whatever your friend's was, yours was $3 more. So we could say plus friend plus 3 equals 19. So now, because we can rearrange any addition problem, we have 2F plus 3 equals 19. And now it's a two-step equation. Minus 3 just a little, there we go. Minus 3, and so we have 2F equals 16 because you got rid of the 3 on this side. 19 minus 3 is 16. So divide by 2, divide by 2. Your friend's lunch was $8. Then if you want to just make sure that makes sense, if yours was $3 more, that would be 11. And 8 plus 11 is 19. Oh, and that's the end of our slides. Great job. Hope that made sense. We'll work on it more next time. Have a good day.